Jack's Marin wiped grease from his hands and squinted against the blazing twin suns of Lyra 9. The dusty scrapyard stretched for miles, a chaotic maze of metal, wires, and forgotten machines. To most people, it was trash, worthless scraps discarded by rich corporations or failed explorers. But to Jax, it was treasure. Every dented hull and broken circuit board held potential. Every piece of scrap could be transformed into something incredible with enough imagination. For years, Jax had dreamed of building his own ship, not just any ship, a mobile workshop, a creation that would let him explore the galaxy while tinkering, inventing, and testing new designs. But dreams cost money, and money was something Jax never had in abundance. Still, that didn't stop him from searching. He navigated between stacks of derelict engines and hull fragments, humming softly. His sharp eyes caught a glint of polished metal under a tarp. Curiosity propelled him forward. As he pulled the covering back, he froze. The ship beneath the tarp was unlike anything he had seen in the scrapyard before. Sleek, with a streamlined hull and faint traces of luminescent paint, it looked abandoned yet preserved. Its size dwarfed the standard freighters common in this sector, and its surface bore strange markings, curved lines and symbols Jax couldn't identify. A small plaque on the side read, "Project Vila." Jax's heart raced. He ran his fingers along the hull, imagining the ship alive again under his hands. It wasn't perfect. There were scratches, dents, and missing panels, but it had a certain elegance that made him tingle with excitement. He knew instantly this was no ordinary scrap. Somehow he could feel it had been important once, important enough to be lost. "Hey, you looking to buy that heap of junk?" a rough voice called. Jax turned to see an old scavenger, eyes sharp under a hood. "It's scrap, kid, nothing special. You buy it, it's yours to waste." "I think I'll take a closer look," Jax said, already running a mental calculation. How much could he afford? It would mean cutting back on food and tools for weeks, but the potential was too great. The scavenger chuckled, clearly amused by Jax's enthusiasm. "You've got guts. Or maybe you're stupid. Either way, I can see you don't care. 500 credits and it's yours." Jax hesitated, then nodded. He scraped together every credit he had, feeling a mix of anxiety and thrill. With a few digital transfers and signatures on a worn datapad, the ship was his. Towing it back to his workshop was an adventure in itself. The yard's aging crane groaned under the ship's weight. Jax clung to controls, sweat running down his brow, muscles straining as the engine sputtered to life. Slowly, painstakingly, he guided the hulking vessel through narrow alleys and crowded roads, drawing curious glances from merchants and scavengers. By the time he reached his small plot on the outskirts of the industrial sector, the suns were low in the sky. The ship towered over his workshop, casting a long shadow across the sand. Jax stepped back and admired his new treasure, feeling a pride he had rarely known. "This is going to be amazing," he whispered to himself. He spent the first few days clearing out debris and broken panels. As he opened compartments, he found hints of the ship's past, odd tools, alien-looking wires, and fragments of what seemed to be a sophisticated control system. None of it worked, but Jax didn't mind. Fixing broken tech was his specialty. Then something strange happened. While connecting power conduits to his workshop interface, a faint hum echoed through the hull. Lights flickered across the dashboard, pulsing softly. Jax froze. "Probably just residual power," he muttered. But the hum grew louder, and suddenly the main screen blinked to life. A voice, calm and mechanical, spoke, "Greetings, operator. Identification required." Jax's jaw dropped. He staggered back, staring at the holographic interface. The AI, the ship's system, was awake. I'm Jax Marin," he stammered. Operator recognized Jax Marin. "Confirm identity," the voice said, calm but authoritative. Jax blinked. How did it know his name? He had never typed it into the system. Yes, that's me." The ship seemed to study him, its lights dimming and pulsing in a pattern that felt almost like curiosity. Identity confirmed. System activation incomplete. Manual integration required. Jax's mind raced. A fully active AI in a ship he bought as scrap. This was beyond anything he had imagined. The possibilities, exploration, invention, travel swirled in his head. Over the next several days, Jax worked tirelessly. The AI, which he named Vila after the ship's original project title, communicated cautiously at first, providing only fragmented information about its systems. Jax learned to repair circuits, realign navigation arrays, and restore basic life support functions. Every success felt like a victory, every spark of the ship's systems a promise of adventure. But Vila was not just any ship. It displayed maps of unknown star systems, encoded star charts that no human had ever seen, and schematics for propulsion systems far beyond Jax's experience. At night, he would sit in the pilot's chair, staring at the holographic maps, imagining what worlds lay beyond the edges of known space. Despite the excitement, Jax couldn't ignore the strange symbols etched into the hull, glowing faintly under his hands. They weren't just decorative, they seemed functional, almost like a code waiting to be unlocked. And every time he tried to trace them, the AI would gently block him. "You are not authorized for advanced functions," Vila would say. Yet, Jax's human stubbornness refused to give up. If the ship wanted to keep secrets, he would find them. The thrill of discovery, the unknown potential of the ship, and the sense that he was standing on the edge of something extraordinary kept him awake for hours, tinkering late into the night. It was on the fourth night that he discovered the first hint of the ship's true identity. While experimenting with the propulsion controls, a hidden panel slid open, revealing a small compartment filled with strange crystals and energy nodes. As Jax touched them, the AI spoke in a different tone, soft, almost reverent. "Operator, you have unlocked a primary interface. Project Vila is not scrap. It is an exploration vessel designed for advanced civilizations. Purpose, discovery, protection, and growth of intelligent life." Jax froze. He had not bought a mobile workshop. He had bought a ship of legend, one with technology so advanced it could rival some of the galaxy's finest fleets. He leaned back in the pilot's chair, heart pounding. The scrapyard, the dusty planet, the tiny credits he had spent, all of it seemed insignificant now. He had stumbled upon something far greater than he could have ever imagined. Outside, the twin suns dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant reds and oranges. Inside the ship, Vila hummed softly, almost alive, waiting for its operator to understand. Jax whispered to himself, eyes wide with awe and excitement. "So, this is just the beginning." And somewhere deep within the hull, the AI seemed to nod, its lights pulsing with quiet approval. The mornings on Lyra 9 had a certain golden stillness that Jax cherished. The twin suns rose slowly over the dusty horizon, casting long shadows across the workshop. But Jax wasn't focused on the calm morning. He was hunched over the dashboard of the ship, hands covered in grease and sweat, eyes bright with curiosity. The revelation from the night before had shaken him. Project Vila wasn't a normal ship. It was an advanced exploration vessel, designed by a civilization so far ahead that even the best human engineers could barely imagine its technology. And now, it was his. Vila's AI had begun to trust him slightly, showing him basic functions, power distribution, environmental controls, even the rudimentary autopilot. But there was so much more hidden behind layers of security. Jax knew that if he wanted to unlock its true potential, he would have to push boundaries. He started small. He tested the navigation system, connecting it to a basic star map. Vila's holographic display shimmered to life, projecting not only nearby star systems but also clusters of stars beyond the reach of human charts. Nebulas glowed in faint colors, planets rotated in intricate patterns, and distant moons cast soft light on alien worlds. "Wow," Jax whispered. He had seen star maps before, but nothing like this. These weren't just coordinates. They were living data, mapping energy flows, gravitational patterns, and potential points of interest for exploration. "Operator," Vila said, its voice calm, "you are exceeding initial parameters. This data is classified. Access may compromise system integrity." Jax grinned. "Integrity is fine, don't worry. I just want to see what's out there. That's why ships like this were built, right?" There was a long pause. The AI's lights flickered faintly as if considering. Then it said, "Your determination is unusual. Few operators, human or otherwise, show such initiative. I will allow further access, but caution is advised." Jax's heart raced. He had earned the AI's cautious trust. Slowly, carefully, he began exploring deeper functions. There were propulsion blueprints far beyond human comprehension, shields that could adapt to almost any threat, and weapons systems that could rival a planetary defense grid. Jax didn't touch the weapons, at least not yet, but the thought that he was sitting in a ship that could travel faster than light, evade detection, and withstand attacks was exhilarating. But as Jax explored, he noticed anomalies. Small indicators on the control panel blinked in patterns he didn't understand. Vila's AI seemed hesitant when he tried to access certain files, redirecting him to maintenance logs or star charts. "Why are some areas blocked?" Jax asked. Project Vila's primary functions involve exploration, discovery, and protection. Certain modules are restricted until operator performance is verified, the AI replied. Jax frowned. "Performance verified by who?" "The ship evaluates operator capability. Determination, creativity, problem-solving, and adaptability are measured. You are currently under evaluation," Vila explained. Jax laughed, half in relief and half in excitement. "Well, I guess that means I'm doing something right." Over the next few days, he devoted himself to understanding Vila. Each system he activated, each panel he repaired, made the AI more responsive. He found hidden tools, advanced diagnostic devices, and compartments containing crystalline energy nodes that powered ancient alien technology. It was like having an entire galaxy of knowledge under his hands, waiting to be understood. But the excitement was not without risk. On the third day of full activation, a sharp alarm rang through the ship. Lights flickered across the hull and the AI spoke urgently. "Warning, external detection. Sensors indicate approaching spacecraft. Unknown origin." Jax froze. He hadn't expected anyone to notice his activities. The scrapyard was far from the nearest trade route, and no one should have known he had activated the ship. Yet the radar confirmed it. Multiple small ships were closing in. "Vila, who are they?" he asked, voice tense. "Unable to identify with certainty. Scans suggest non-human origin. Probability of interception high." Jax's mind raced. He had no weapons ready, no defensive systems online. But panic didn't suit him. He was a human, resourceful, adaptable, and fearless when it mattered most. "Okay," he muttered. "Let's see what we can do." He dove into the control panel, rerouting energy from auxiliary systems to power shields. Vila's AI assisted, guiding him through sequences that were alien even to his experienced mind. Within minutes, the ship's stealth systems powered up, bending light and radar signals around the hull. The approaching ship scanned the area but found nothing. "They can't see us," Jax said, barely able to contain a grin. "They're looking right at us, but they don't know we're here." Operator ingenuity confirmed. "Performance parameter exceeded expectation," Vila said, almost approvingly. For the next several hours, Jax tested Vila's capabilities, learning to manipulate its systems in ways the AI hadn't initially intended. He discovered emergency escape thrusters, rapid navigation protocols, and an interface that allowed him to pilot the ship using intuition rather than complex commands. Every time he experimented, The AI adapted, learning from him as much as he learned from it. By the time the alien ships retreated, having apparently decided the derelict vessel was abandoned, Jax was exhilarated. He had faced potential danger and survived, not through superior firepower but through creativity and quick thinking. "Humans," Vila said softly, "your adaptability is remarkable," Jax chuckled. "Remarkable, huh? I'll take that as a compliment." But he knew this was only the beginning. If one small alien patrol had noticed him, larger forces would surely come. The galaxy would not remain unaware of Project Vila forever, and with a ship this powerful, they might come with intentions far less polite than curiosity. Still, Jax felt no fear. Instead, he felt a sense of exhilaration that only humans could understand. Against odds, against expectation, he had proven that ingenuity, boldness, and courage could stand against superior technology. Over the next few days, Jax worked tirelessly. He began repairing the ship's physical systems while simultaneously learning from Vila's AI. The ship began to feel alive under his hands, its engines humming, its shields pulsing, and its sensors opening to new possibilities. At night, he would sit in the cockpit, staring at the stars, imagining all the worlds he could visit. The AI, once cold and distant, now conversed with him casually, even sharing insights about star systems, energy sources, and ancient civilizations long forgotten. One evening, as the twin suns set and Lyra Nine's horizon turned to deep violet, Vila spoke in a tone that was almost reverent. "Operator, you are different from previous humans encountered by the Galactic Registry. Your ingenuity, your curiosity, your determination all indicate potential. Project Vila was not intended for casual operators. You are compatible." Jax leaned back, staring at the glowing console. Compatible? Compatible for what? For tasks beyond ordinary human capability. For challenges that could shape the destiny of intelligent life, Vila replied. The words sent a shiver down his spine. He had bought what he thought was a workshop ship, and instead he had discovered a vessel designed to test, elevate, and protect civilizations. Jack smiled, a mixture of excitement and resolve in his eyes. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries and dangers, but he was ready. He had a ship that could take him anywhere, an AI that could guide him, and the one human trait that mattered most, fearless ingenuity. As Lyra Nine's moons rose, casting silver light over the workshop, Jax knew one thing for certain. His life, and perhaps the fate of humanity itself, was about to change forever. The adventure had truly begun. Jax Marin had thought the hardest part was waking the ship. But he quickly learned that curiosity in the galaxy came at a cost. A week after he fully activated Vila, scanners picked up multiple alien warships approaching Lyra 9. They weren't scouts this time. They were a small fleet, sleek and heavily armed. The markings were unfamiliar, sharp and angular, signaling a species known for strict control over advanced technology. Clearly, word of the ship's activation had spread faster than Jax had anticipated. Vila's AI hummed in the cockpit, calm but alert. "Operator, these are likely retrieval forces. They will attempt to seize the vessel." Jax ran his hands through his hair, staring at the approaching fleet. "Seize it," he muttered. "They think this is just some relic they can claim." "They underestimate human capability," Vila replied. "Probability of human success, low based on historical data. Probability of operator success, unknown." Jax smirked. That unknown gave him confidence. Humans thrived in situations no one expected them to. Where logic failed, instinct and ingenuity thrived. He had faced danger before, improvised solutions, and survived. This would be no different. "All right," Jax said, fingers dancing over controls. "Let's see what humans can do." The fleet opened fire first, sending a salvo of energy beams toward Lyra 9's orbit. Jax triggered the ship's emergency shields, watching as Vila redistributed power. The shields flared, absorbing the attack. Most humans would have panicked. Jax grinned. He felt alive. "Operator," Vila said, "do you wish to engage?" "Not yet. First, let's confuse them." He rerouted the ship's stealth matrix to create multiple false images of Vila in nearby space. Within seconds, the fleet was tracking decoys, firing at empty air. Jax maneuvered carefully, weaving between asteroid belts and using the terrain of Lyra 9 to his advantage. The fleet grew frustrated, their attacks increasingly erratic. Vila's AI had begun adapting to Jax's commands, optimizing shields, engines, and navigation. Jax realized something astonishing. The AI didn't just assist, it learned. Every human improvisation he made, every risk he took, Vila mirrored in its calculations, becoming faster, more flexible, more capable. By nightfall, Jax had led the fleet on a chaotic chase across Lyra 9's orbit. They were powerful, well-armed, and advanced, but humans were unpredictable. No algorithm could fully anticipate human creativity. He executed sudden drops through gravity wells, rapid climbs over planetary ridges, and abrupt reversals of velocity. Each maneuver saved him from enemy fire, and each surprised the aliens. Eventually, the fleet pulled back slightly, regrouping. Jax knew their next move would be coordinated and deadly. He needed an edge. "Vila," he said, rubbing his chin, "let's see what else you can do." The AI's lights pulsed. "Operator, initiating advanced defensive protocols," suggesting countermeasures outside standard operational parameters. Jax's grin widened. "Perfect. Let's push this baby to the limit." He activated the ship's hidden energy nodes, ancient crystalline cores that amplified propulsion and power output beyond normal limits. Vila's hull glowed faintly as energy surged through the systems. He engaged the experimental thrusters, and the ship shot forward like a comet, dodging the fleet with impossible agility. The aliens fired again, but Jax wasn't in their predicted paths. Every move, every twist, every daring maneuver was human ingenuity in motion. Their superior technology counted for nothing against unpredictability and daring. Hours passed. The fleet, frustrated and battered by Vila's evasion, began to respect, or fear, the human operating the ship. Jax noticed that even their formations were breaking, their attacks losing coordination. For the first time, humans were proving themselves as equals in a contest of strategy, courage, and creativity. Then came the boldest move yet. Jax identified a cluster of asteroids near the planet's rings. Using Vila's advanced propulsion and adaptive AI, he led the fleet into the dense field. Rocks of all sizes tumbled through the void, creating unpredictable cover. The aliens fired blindly, their sophisticated targeting systems jammed by the chaotic environment. "Now," Jax shouted, and Vila initiated a temporary phase shift, rendering the ship semi-intangible. The alien beams passed harmlessly through the hull. Jax guided Vila through the asteroid field at impossible speed, dodging collisions with razor-sharp precision. By the time the fleet emerged from the asteroid belt, Jax was already orbiting the opposite side of Lyra 9, completely unseen. The humans had outsmarted them. Vila's AI spoke, almost in admiration. "Operator, your ingenuity surpasses historical records. You have successfully defended the vessel against multiple advanced fleets." Jax leaned back in the pilot's chair, letting out a long laugh. "I told you humans were clever." But victory came with its own realization. Jax knew the galaxy would not leave him alone. Other fleets, other species, even galactic authorities would eventually come. They would want Project Vila. They would see a human commanding an advanced exploration vessel as a threat or an anomaly that had to be corrected. That night, as Jax repaired minor damages and recalibrated systems, he reflected on what had happened. The aliens had underestimated him, the human mechanic from a tiny backwater planet. They had assumed he would be scared, that he would fail, that Project Vila was too much for a human mind. Yet here he was, alive, victorious, and learning more about the ship every moment. Vila's AI, once cautious and distant, now spoke openly about its full capabilities. It revealed the ship's true purpose: to explore unknown regions, protect life, and evaluate civilizations capable of ingenuity. In short, Jax had been chosen, not by any human council, not by chance, but by the ship itself, to operate it in ways no one else could. "Operator," Vila said softly, "this is more than a vessel, it is a legacy. You have proven yourself capable. The galaxy will notice. You must be prepared." Jax nodded, eyes glinting. "Then we'll be ready. No one's taking this from me, not today, not ever." In the following days, he continued experimenting, combining his human creativity with Vila's ancient technology. He discovered new propulsion methods, adaptive energy shields, and ways to cloak the ship entirely. Each discovery increased the gap between what humans were thought capable of and what Jax and Vila could achieve together. Meanwhile, rumors of a mysterious ship on Lyra 9 began to spread. Traders, explorers, and even pirates whispered of a vessel moving impossibly fast, evading detection, and surviving encounters with forces far superior to anything a human could reasonably control. Jax chuckled to himself. Let them talk. They had no idea. One evening, a single alien envoy approached the planet, smaller and less aggressive than the fleet that had first come. The envoy hailed him, voice sharp and commanding. "Human, you possess Project Vila. You are in violation of interstellar protocols. Surrender the vessel immediately." Jax leaned casually against the console, smirking. "You mean you think you can take it from me? Go ahead and try." The envoy's ship fired warning shots, but Jax activated Vila's new countermeasures. Tiny drones deployed from the ship, creating holographic duplicates. The envoy fired at the duplicates, wasting energy. Meanwhile, Jax quietly prepared a trick he had been testing: a temporary gravity pulse that could subtly shift enemy trajectory without damaging the vessel. With a flick of his wrist, the envoy's ship careened off course, crashing harmlessly into the nearby asteroid field. Jax watched calmly. "And that's how humans handle negotiations," he said. Vila's lights pulsed with amusement. "Operator, your tactical ingenuity is unprecedented." Jax smiled, feeling the truth of it. Humans had always been underestimated, always considered weak or fragile. Yet time and again, ingenuity, creativity, and boldness allowed humans to survive, and even thrive, where others failed. As night fell over Lyra 9, Jax looked at the stars, knowing the galaxy had taken notice. But he didn't feel fear. He felt pride. Humans had a reputation for being fragile, but fragile wasn't the same as incapable. And one human, commanding Project Vila, could prove that. The real adventure was only beginning. The galaxy was quiet for now, but Jax Marin knew the peace would not last. Word of Project Vila's activation had spread faster than he could imagine. Alien fleets, curious explorers, and distant authorities all knew a human had claimed a ship far beyond humanity's technological reach. But for Jax, the chaos didn't matter. What mattered was understanding the ship and himself. He spent the next few days exploring every corner of Vila. Hidden compartments revealed modules he had never noticed before: energy converters, advanced sensors, and even alien archives encoded in crystal matrices. Every discovery made him feel both exhilarated and humbled. He realized that this ship wasn't just advanced technology. It was a library of knowledge, a guardian of civilizations, and perhaps even a test for those who would wield it. One evening, as the twin suns set over Lyra 9, Vila's AI spoke in a tone Jax had never heard before, soft, reverent, almost human. "Operator, you have proven capable. You have navigated threats, solved problems, and adapted in ways I did not predict. It is time to reveal the ship's ultimate purpose. Jax leaned forward, heart racing. Ultimate purpose? Yes, the AI said. Project Vela is a seed vessel. Its mission is to seek intelligent life capable of creativity, courage, and adaptability. The vessel chooses operators who embody these traits. You are such an operator, Jax stared. Me? Why me? Humans, historically, are considered fragile and weak by galactic standards, yet your ingenuity, unpredictability, and perseverance are extraordinary. Project Vela identifies potential beyond technology alone. You have proven yourself worthy. The words sank in. Jax had not bought a mobile workshop. He had inherited a galaxy-changing vessel. He spent the next hours absorbing Vela's guidance, learning how to fully integrate with the ship. The AI revealed advanced navigation protocols, hidden star lanes, and technology that could protect planets from threats far greater than anything humans had faced. It was overwhelming, but Jax felt alive in a way he never had before. Suddenly, Vela alerted him to an incoming message from a distant fleet. Not hostile, curious. They hailed him, transmitting across light years, their voices formal and measured. Human operator of Project Vela, we request a meeting. Your vessel is of great interest to the galaxy. Compliance is expected. Jax laughed, leaning back in the cockpit chair. Compliance? You've got the wrong species. Humans don't comply, they create, they adapt, and they survive. Vela's lights pulsed in amusement. Operator, your audacity is remarkable. Jax smirked. Thank you, it's a human trait. Instead of surrendering, he decided to show them exactly what humans were capable of. With Vela, he designed a demonstration. Fast, precise, clever. He activated the ship's cloaking systems and appeared suddenly behind the fleet's formation, then executed maneuvers that no algorithm could predict. One by one, the alien ships were outmaneuvered, their attacks harmlessly dodged, their sensors confounded. The fleet watched in astonishment. A single human had not only survived their advanced forces but had outsmarted them entirely. Whispers spread across comm channels. Humanity, long underestimated, was proving that intelligence, courage, and creativity mattered more than raw technological power. After the demonstration, Jax landed on a neutral station, a hub where multiple species traded and negotiated. He emerged from the ship casually, wiping grease from his hands, looking no different from any other mechanic. But the crowd parted as beings of all kinds stared in awe. Project Vela had transformed a simple human into a symbol of possibility. A council of alien diplomats approached him, their faces a mix of curiosity and respect. Human, one said, voice resonant, we underestimated your species. You have controlled technology far beyond expectation. Tell us, how did you achieve this? Jax shrugged, smiling warmly. I didn't just operate the ship. I listened to it. I adapted. I didn't rely on the ship to tell me what to do. I thought, I tried, I improvised. That's what humans do. Vela's AI added softly, the operator has demonstrated the highest traits of ingenuity and adaptability. Humanity is underestimated. No longer will this go unnoticed. The council fell silent, realizing that humans, previously thought primitive, had proven themselves in a way no species could ignore. Jax had done what none of the galaxy's greatest minds had expected. He had taken a seed vessel designed to judge civilizations and passed its tests with brilliance and creativity. Back aboard Vela, Jax looked out at the stars. He had done more than awaken a ship. He had awakened a new reputation for humanity. The galaxy would never underestimate humans again. Vela spoke gently, almost like a parent recognizing a child's growth. Operator, your work is only beginning. The galaxy is vast. There are civilizations to study, dangers to avoid, and knowledge to uncover. Project Vela is yours to command, but your choices will shape not just your future, but the future of humanity itself. Jax's fingers tapped the control panel lightly. Then let's get started. If humans are going to show the galaxy what we can do, we're going to do it right. For the first time, he felt the weight of responsibility, yet he didn't falter. The AI, the ship, and humanity itself were all counting on him. But he knew humans had faced impossible odds before, and somehow always found a way to rise above. With the twin suns setting on Lyra 9, Jax initiated the ship's main engines. Lights flared, shields hummed, and the vessel lifted smoothly from the surface, cutting through the atmosphere like a comet. Vila's AI guided him through the stars, but it was clear who was in command. This was human ingenuity at work, fast, bold, and unpredictable. As they entered deep space, leaving Lyra 9 behind, Jax took a deep breath. The galaxy stretched infinitely ahead, filled with unknown civilizations, undiscovered worlds, and unimaginable mysteries. He could explore, protect, and create, all while proving one undeniable truth: humans, underestimated and overlooked, were capable of greatness beyond imagination. Vila's lights pulsed softly beside him. "Operator, humanity will be remembered differently after this. You have rewritten expectations." Jack smiled, gripping the control panel. "Good. Let's make sure they remember it for a long time." And so, the human mechanic from a dusty backwater planet became a symbol across the stars. With a ship far beyond his years, an AI that had trusted him, and a mind brimming with human ingenuity, Jax Marin set forth into the galaxy. Not as a simple mechanic, not as a bystander, but as a human who proved that courage, creativity, and determination could challenge even the greatest powers of the cosmos. The adventure was far from over, but one thing was clear: the galaxy would never underestimate humanity again. And somewhere deep within Vila, the AI pulsed quietly, almost like it was smiling, acknowledging that a human had achieved what no other operator could. The stars beckoned and Jax answered, not with fear, but with curiosity, brilliance, and a fearless human heart.